Hello YouTube, this is Keith Kevin Kent. How you doing? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I got a small package from Omaha Knives. Omaha Knives is what I call my godfather from Spyderco. I'm one of the collectors club. Let's see. With this yellow, it's hard to get this stuff, the lighting right, but number 23 from Spyderco's Collectors Club. I pay for all the knives. Spyderco sends them to Omaha Knives. Omaha Knives send them to me. I had 2 packages in a week, which I really love, or close to a week. I got my second one. It had 3 knives. Here are 2 of the 3, and I don't know when I'll post the third. It's Friday as I record this. But let's talk about this. Brand new from Spyderco. It's the Native 5 Salt series, Native 5. Yeah, Native 5 Salt. And I've never had a Salt Native 5, and I don't know if they've ever made one before, but I really like this. Now, of course, both in plain edge and serrated edge, fully serrated edge. Plain edge and fully serrated edge. Now, as you know, the Salt series means that these are knives made for water, made around the water, which means it is a it is a rust-proof blade. I talked before about the Salt 2 Warncliffe blade, and because they were Salt, they had the H1 steel. For a long time, Spyderco used H1 steel on his Salt knives, that rust-proof steel. And then about a year and a half ago, they introduced LC 200N steel, and that's what they're using on this Native 5 Salt. Of course, you know the Native 5. It is one of the standard made in America knives from Spyderco, made in Colorado. In fact, when Spyderco had their 40th anniversary, they didn't choose the Paramilitary 2, they didn't choose the Delica or the Endura, they could have, or the Mannix. They chose the Native as their anniversary knife. Just a real nice EDC knife. I don't think the Native gets as much credit as some of the other knives. Now, I know Spyderco puts out a lot of different knives every year, and all of us on YouTube and on Instagram love the hottest, newest knives. In fact, I want to see some of these hottest, newest flippers that they still haven't released, that they'll be releasing in months or so. But man, it's a nice knife. Every time I pick it up, it just is wonderful. I like smaller knives anyway, so it just fits me great. Full flat ground blade, and like I said, LC 200N steel. It is rust proof. It was used in NASA. It's just a real nice all-weather steel that you can depend on, never to rust. You can go in the water. What Spyderco did, as they always do with their Salt series, they have the yellow FRN scales, but as you can see when I put it against the Salts, I don't know if you can tell because of the lighting, but it's a darker yellow than the usual Salts. I think that's to let us know that this isn't the H1 steel that we've come to expect. It's the LC 200N steel, which I really like a lot. So like I said, full flat ground, has that wonderful Spyderco leaf shape. That 50-50 forward choil just fits that finger just perfect. Jimping right there. I love when I talk about that kind of classic shape, leaf shape from Spyderco. It's where that hole doesn't push it out of shape too much, right? And it's just a real nice, it's a slicer, it's an everything you want out of your EDC knife. And of course, when you talk about serrated, it's great for fishing or whatever if you need to cut some things. 3-inch blade. When you take out that blade, when they measure from the tip of the handle to the tip of the blade. That's 3 inches. But again, they take a lot out of that blade for 50% of that forward choil. And so the cutting edge is 2.4 inches. The entire length of the native, any native that you get, 6.9 inch total. You can tell the folks at Spyderco love their natives. Last year, they released what? 6 different little natives. And then they introduced the Shaman, which really is a big native. So they really love their natives. It's been with them a long time. That's why this is the 5th iteration of the native. Now it's part of the Salt collection, which I really like. It only weighs 2.5 ounces. And one reason is there are no liners inside of this. In fact, inside, when you look at it, this FRN scale, that's fiberglass reinforced nylon. You can see that they even skeletonized the FRN scales inside. You see that? Keeping the structure, but cutting out as much as they could inside. Very strong back lock. I keep waiting, since they did the little native, and they did it with the back lock, but they actually introduced the little native first with a compression lock. And the Shaman, which Eric Glesser called a big native, they released that with a compression lock. I'm waiting for the Native 6 to have a compression lock instead of a back lock. That would be a real nice knife, especially when you're talking about the size of this. So a little darker yellow, FRN scales, of course, can handle any weather. I call it space age plastic. It's tough to hurt. The FRN scales. The clip, well, your regular Spyderco clip, 4-way, right hand, left hand, tip up or tip down, any variety you want. Brand new from Spyderco. It's Spyderco's Native 5, the Salt version, with rust-proof steel, LC200N. Remember the Caribbean? You could see it, the knives. They released 4 big knives with LC200N steel, which made them rust-proof. I have all the knives that I've ever owned. They're all, well, that's a lie. I have a number of knives, case knives, that I haven't shown you yet. I'll get to those, I promise. But most of the knives that I own, you can see on the playlist. Just look at the Knife of the Day playlist. There you have it. Brand new, right from Spyderco. The brand new Native 5 Salt version. If you're not familiar with the Native or you haven't seen it in a while, there's the Delica. Whoops, give you some good comparisons. There's the Delica. And here's the Manix 2. And there you have it. Thanks a lot for watching. If you haven't subscribed, now's the time to do it. It just takes a couple of seconds. Become a part of our community, and it helps me out a lot. Turn on your notifications so you can catch all of the videos about all of the knives. Okay? Take good care of yourselves. I know this is a complicated season. A lot of happy people, A lot of people not that happy. So you guys take good care of yourselves. Keep those pockets full. Oh, I'll be back. We're going to continue to do knives and pocket dumps as well. I actually bought another Spyderco because I wasn't, it was just introduced on Instagram and I rushed. I think I was the first one to put in an order and they said they shipped it already. So we'll probably get that Tuesday or Wednesday. It was a surprise for me and I bought it because I'm not sure Spyderco is going to even give it to the Collectors Club. And if they do, I'll have two, and at least one of them will be in the next trimming that I do. I'm excited about the knife. I got giddy actually at work. Yep, like a little girl. You guys have a good day. Have a good one. Goodbye.